Hello and welcome back to my lightly modded world, survival world I should say, where I have continued where I left off last time. I've moved, well, from this island down here, so not a big move. I have no house, I have no gear, but I made myself the copper tools we started with last time, and also broadaxe. I think we'll mention that later, but once you've completed all your basic tools, the next thing you want to do is to get on the next tier of tools. So in the beginning we could only make these ones, and now we can also make these. We need the Tinker's Anvil. It's not too hard to make. You can make whichever you want, depending on what mod pack or what material you have at hand. I made the Tinker's bronze version of the anvil. So how do we make bronze? Well, it's pretty simple. We pour molten into a basin, of course, but we need to alloy glass with copper. So 3-to-1 in ingots and 1 block. The thing is here, it says 700 degrees, but we have a problem in the regular smelter. If we do this, there's no room. Let's see. 3 of these. Make it in here. Copper ingot. 3-to-1 glass. And our problem now is that this one is full. Even though we have the 800 degrees here, there's not enough space, and we can't make the seared smelter any larger. So we'll have to dump our copper into this side, and we get the glass, and we can put it here, and we can make lots of clear glass, which is fun. And we can automate that, which is the biggest topic for this video. So this setup, it's quite useful if we have lots of copper, which I do. We can simply put it up here, dump it in, and we can have a few charcoals here, or we can actually place a hopper like this one, and we can put it in like this. Let me just demonstrate instead of saying. We can do like this, aim it towards that one, and put our charcoal here, and it will automatically be inserted. So we can pretty easily automate the heater itself, and we can just put this one always on and put the next hopper to the bottom, and we'll output it automatically in here. So that's the basic automation you can do with this. Well, okay, let's get this out. With this smelter for solid fuel. But it's more fun to do it like this. And last time, perhaps I should have mentioned how to make these casts. I think I mentioned it, but we didn't get into it. So if we do like this, and we can actually put on some automation on glass, and so we can make clear glass. That's always fun. So let's get a few. Let's make more houses look much better with clear glass instead of the regular. So let's do this. I like to use the ones from the mods. This is always on, so make sure when you do like this that you turn them off as well. If you don't turn them off and I put copper in, then it will go in here, and then I have copper here and here, and I might well, you can do it, you can put a faucet on the back side, and then a tank on the bottom, and then you can pour it out and then pour it into the next one instead. So there are ways around it, but it's best to remember just to turn them off when you're not using them. So let's move over to this side, and let's have 1 piece of gold, because I don't think we can smelt. Oh, we can actually smelt it. Then it's fine. So take your first gold that you get, and we place an ingot. Now we have 1 ingot's worth of gold. Pour it around to make the cast. Ah, the copper is consumed. I didn't remember that. Anyway, now we have the cast, and if we make if we melt 1 ingot, then we know I will get it back. And we can pour 1 by 1. I always place both a basin and an ingot cast, or a casting table for ingots, and then you can replace it, or you can have another casting table with where you change them. So now we can take the copper, pour it on, and this is perfect for leftovers. All right, good start. But as I was talking about, we can't make the bronze over there. Here, however, we'll take 3 of these, and oh, the glass. And 1 glass, and we'll sleep. And now if we look into the smeltery, we get 3 ingots of bronze. So I forgot about the ratio. We need to do this 2 more times. Let's take 2 more glass. And of course we can melt raw copper, but it will get uneven. Let's do it like this. We'll do it anyway. So these 2 and these 3 will get 1 block, 9 ingots worth of Tinker's bronze. And some extra copper. And then on the bottom, what's on the bottom will be output first. So if we click on the copper, I can do like this. We'll get the copper here. And I can change to bronze. And then I can click on this one. And then once we're done, we can just do the ingot again. And here's our block of Tinker's bronze. And we need 3 of them, not a big deal. Once you have some lava, I found down in the mine, we'll run there later perhaps. And I gathered some more in a tank, and I have another tank here for more lava. And let's just fill up the smelter with lava. And I covered this before. Remember that if I put the drain up here, we need to complete the top layer, otherwise I won't get it out. So this is only valid and useful if I have 2 complete layers. Otherwise you need to place it on the bottom and then either place a smelter higher up or things in the ground. And now we can automate this smeltery in the same way. We can also feed, let's see, I don't have the chute. It's called this one, smeltery item input and output. So this is the one we use to insert our raw copper or whatever stuff we want to melt. We can automate this, and we can place a hopper to a chest, just like we did over there. And that's our basic automation for the smeltery. But there is actually one more interesting thing we can do, and we'll get back to that in just a bit, but let's just mention that once you have some better material, you can make the anvil out of iron, I think, right? Or do we need steel constant? No, perhaps we can only use some alloys or things like that. Depends on your mod pack as well. Yeah, steel is from Immersive Engineering. Oh, okay. Then this one is a perfect first because it's easy to make, glass and copper is easy to get, and then you can start to make fun tools. And make them in pretty much the same way as before. Made a few casts in sand, haven't made any more gold casts. Sand stuff, make this same as before. And then I crafted myself excavator and broad axe. You've probably seen these before, but they are actually very useful. So excavator, big shovel, either from top or from sideways. And then the lumber axe, or it's called the broad axe, but I think the old names in old mods was lumber axe. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Makes it faster, and I'm still using quite a bit of charcoal for the smeltery. So yeah, simple stuff. Let's place them back so we can grow more trees. It's pretty fast to chop down with this. Also, just for your information, I also built some farms over here that I will try to even out. This area is very flat already as it is. But I can make it even flatter and fill in these things that are actually not even, they are not caves going anywhere. I already explored them, so even this out even more. I have the basic stuff for animals set up. I will use a lot of leather later, so I've started to farm some. And I will just, before we change to a creative world for the final parts, I will show you. Then let's bring our bucket we already had. We'll take the tank. And we can have one more down here and one more up there. So you can place more tanks in the same smeltery. This one can contain 4 buckets and this 4. You can see we have 6 buckets and a half. Total of 8 now. Instead of 4 in just one layer. So 3 ingots, 3 nuggets. What does that mean? We need 6 more to make one of these blocks. So it should be finalized when I get back. But there's one more block I want to show you just to make the automation more complete. And we can say hello to our zombie villager. Just remember to take your tanks with you. I've explored some of this cave and, well, I found some, no diamonds yet though, but lapis, redstone, that basic stuff. So very good to have a big lava pool nearby for all your lava needs. And this will last for some time until we get to the nether. And nether is where we need to go pretty soon. But I still wanted to do this video before we get to the nether. For the sake of automation. So this will last for some time. Let's go into a creative world and I'll show you the final part. Alright, so let's do the final part in this creative world. I should have done this in the survival world, but haven't been to the nether and we just need some cobalt. We'll get it from cobalt ore and you can find it easily in the nether, but only in the nether. So that's why I haven't I'm cheating here just a bit, but I will zoom in the nether and I'll want to just do that part as fast as I can. This setup is exactly like I discussed in the other world, just complete with hoppers for output, hopper for input and input. So same stuff. And you can turn these off and then you do, I mean, there are four directions. You can have the smeltery output on the backside as well if you want to. Okay, and then the smeltery, as I mentioned before, you can make it in one layer. Then you can either raise it but you need to have the drain at the bottom level to output. And this is basically the simplest smeltery you can have. And then when you make it 2-level, well, here I don't have any extra tanks, not in this creator world, but pretty much the same thing. On this side, here's the chute. Just copper and bricks, nothing fancy. And the hopper for input. And here we can just dump our stuff like this. And actually, you can output as well. I'm not sure when that's useful, but I can do like this, and we can just dump lots of iron in here. But we'll never get them in the smeltery because they just go straight through. So not sure when we need that, but in any way you can do it. Perhaps on some filtering, have some automated stuff taking other things out in case you dump too much and then, well, we're not sure. Perhaps you can look at an output and only open it. You can close the output if we have a condition, like I think we need to think about that. But in any way, this is the final block I want to show you. Seared duct. And to build this, we need 2 ingots of cobalt, and it's also drain like the regular one, but we can filter it. It has an interface. This one does not. And we can filter, so here we can see I have a lever here, and the faucet, and they're always on as it is now. State on. And to prevent that we are sending any copper to this side, perhaps we get copper here and here, then we will not get the iron out at all. So if I just do like this, and we can do them in any order we want. Oops, sorry. If we remove them, place them like that. Sorry again. Because iron and copper will not alloy, we can have iron and copper at the same time in here. Some materials will alloy, of course. And I think now perhaps we can reach a state where we have both at the same time. I just want to demonstrate that. But some alloys do not mix, and then we can have them in here. So now, copper, iron, you can see they're both in here. And thanks to these filtered outputs, the seared ducts, we can make sure that the copper and iron goes in each. But we need to filter with the copper can. Copper cans, easy to build. 3 of these will give you 3. And then to fill them, you place one, okay, go away, like this. And if we want to filter on copper, Oh, we have copper in here. Simply pour copper onto this can, and it actually works the same way with buckets. We still have, yeah, at least it used to. We get a bucket of copper. We need more copper. This is how it's been done previously. You poured into a bucket and then you put the bucket into perhaps a thermal expansion or a thermodynamics duct or some other mod. And then you had your filtering like this. Molten copper bucket. Seems to be a lot more in this one compared to this. This is only one ingot. But these days we just use a copper can and a seared duct, and then we can automate much more easily. And we can turn both of these on because we have filtered already. Iron, copper. All right, I think that will conclude our automated smelteries. They're not 100% automated. Here I'm just having one always on output and then a hopper for input. Of course, you can connect these into larger networks or do whatever, but these are the basic ideas of how to do it. All right. And with that, thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you in the next video. And take care and have a nice day. Bye-bye.